Good evening, students. So today we're gonna learn about CCE, which is very important topic in which really comes in your pedagogy of commerce and pedagogy of any subject, even in your assessment for learning paper as well. So we'll learn what is CCE, what are its benefits, what are its disadvantages, and what are its characteristics. So, what is CC? Firstly, we get to know that its full form is Continuous and Comprehensive Evaluation. What it refers to a system of school based assessment of students. What is it? Like in our schools, we were when we were studying in our schools, then in those times, if you really remember, we used to give tests that may be unit test, yearly test, quarterly test, half yearly test, or whatever kind of test or examination you appear for. So, what were these? These were only what these were kind of evaluation. They were evaluating your knowledge, your understanding, which were whatever was being taught to you was further evaluated in terms of tests and examination. So these the CC format, which has been in current scenario, is very useful because it helps in evaluating the content of the which is being taught by the teacher and which is being learned by the student. It helps in knowing whether the teaching and learning process is going smooth, or the planning of the which is being done by the teacher is well or not, and it is very important. So what happens is, whatever the learning processes, as learning is continuous, so the evaluation must be continuous. This was the propaganda which was being established by the CCE format. This is to fulfill the learning outcome in a smoother and in a better way. Uh, So it refers to a system of school based assessment. Those I told you what kind of assessment or what kind of evaluation which was done to us in our school time students, that cover all aspects of students development. Our situation is this, that one is co-scholastic activities evaluation, and second is scholastic activities or academic activities evaluation. So what current scenario expresses is both the forms of academic as well as academic as well as those activities which are co-scholastic in nature, co-curricular in nature, which are apart from the academic level. Means they can be your physical, social, and and not cognitive as well, but mainly that focuses on the other aspect apart from the learning or cognitive aspect. So these both aspects, as we all know, as we have already learned, that SPCF, we are very much sure that I am very much sure that you have already learned that in a holistic development of a student, all the factors are required to be in general focused, like whether it is physical, whether it is social, whether it is mental, whether it is holistic. Any kind of development comes under holistic development, and that is what is actually important for a well-being, well growing of a child's life and whole lifetime. That is why CCE has done such a evaluation process in which the both kind of activities involving physical, social, cognitive, and what kind of developments and growths of children for a better future ahead. CC is our develop mental process of assessment which emphasizes on twofold objective. Its main objective are two-folded. As we already can see, first is continuous evaluation, means as learning is continuous, the evaluation should also be continuous. It shouldn't be like that we just learning, we are learning and we are not evaluating it. Then if we'll only run with the process of learning and we will only learn without evaluating it, then it's damn sure that we gonna already have been rubbed off all the knowledge which we have attained since then. So that's why evaluation is required. Why we give examination? It's just because so that our learning, whatever we have learned, is should be kept in our head and which should be again and again revised so that we couldn't forget it for a longer time. Okay, after that you can be see. And what is about comprehensive means earlier the studies were only limited sources like academics only bookish, only the memorization, rote memorization was being enhanced. But in today's scenario, no rote learning is being promoted. What is being promoted is learning by doing. Whatever the child do, whatever they experience, likewise they attain the learning. Right? Likewise, the learning process enhances. It's not like that the child just keep writing down the content and just mugging up all the content. It's nothing like that in today's world. In today's life, in today's education process, the child itself makes their knowledge, and that is the best form of knowledge as ever. Continuity in evaluation, as I have already told you, continuity is very important for the longer benefit of the learning or knowing about the learning. An assessment of broad based learning and behavioral outcomes. Likewise, the behavior outcomes will come. Whatever we learn, it's then evaluated, means that is being present in our head. If we'll not evaluate it, then we'll definitely forget it and we cannot attain it for a longer time. Thus, our behavioral outcomes will not be like that. In this scheme, the term continuous is meant to emphasize that evaluation of identified aspects of students' growth and development is continuous, like growth as well as development. Both aspects, as we have learned in first year itself, that both the aspect, whether it is growth or it is development, both should be parallel. We should not neglect any one of them for the better or holistic development of a human being. That likewise, this scheme also shows that it's very much required for the continuous evaluation, that both growth as well as development should be kept in mind process rather than an event built into the total teaching learning process and spread over the entire span of academic session. Likewise, the all the activities should be promoted so that better growth as well as development can be attained in the whole span of the academic session. It's very simple, though it is very important. Benefits, if we see, of CC, we can easily see in, like earlier rote memorization was there, so there was a burden in the head of students. They have to mug up all the things. In today's world, they have to just create the knowledge by their own, so the stress is being totally removed. CCE helps in improving students performance by identifying his or her, like CCE also helps in removing the difficulties because it emphasizes on what kind of help or what kind of situation can be created for a better learning of a student. It doesn't just keep on uh, implementing, rather it gives students chance, and it tries to learn what kind of student require what kind of help or resources so that their learning outcomes could be benefited. Scheme of CC is expected to help the child make informed choices of subjects in class 11th. So CC gives fully free to the students. They freely can opt whatever kind of subjects their is based on their liking, and their aptitude, their interest, their liking, and academic performance. As well as academic performance is seen, but more emphasis of CC is given to the interest of children. Whatever they are interested, they can easily opt it without any kind of compulsion or burden. If we talk about the disadvantages of CC, so grading system, it's very much same. Grading system, though it promotes better results, but because, for example, students that score below 90 to 100 on A plus marks respectively will still both attain an A plus. No one can judge who is deserved 90 or who is deserved 100. Uh, Now the situation is, if a person attains 100, then also the same grade will be put it over there. But if a person attains 90, then also the same grading will be there. So grading somewhat is not that suitable, and that does not promote better kind of result in as compared to earlier. Student will take studies casually and secondary, because grading promotes the passing percentage to be high. So students will not be that much in a trouble of studying, because they will be thinking it will be just like that, we will be getting good marks or we will be passed. So no kind of interest will be there. Major problem of percentile mark has been introduced by the board. It's very much headache of percentile marks, because it is very much affecting the person who has really worked hard, and this kind of marks will really disheart the person who has really studied for a while. So it's not good for them. Assessment and other co-curricular activities is too much time consuming and expensive assignment and project. So these co-curricular activities like sports and all, they require extra money, extra charges, extra uh, time and efforts, and such efforts can really be make disgusting the academic performances. And further, they should be balanced. There should be a proper balance between these two activities, curricular as well as co-curricular. There should be a balance stable between them. Students are busy completes a lot of project work, they haven't sufficient reading time. So as more and more assignments will be given to them, so they will keep on doing those only. Rather, they will not get enough time to study, to read for the content being they have to written in the they have to write in the examination. So this is also a hinder. And if we talk about the objectives, to help develop cognitive, psychomotor, and affective CAP, we have already know of the Bloom's taxonomy, CAP, that will enhance through CCE, to lay emphasis on thought process and de-emphasize memorization. As I told you, this will de-emphasize means it will not promote rote memorization or rote learning. Rather, it will increase the thought process of the person or of the student. Evaluation is an integral part of teaching. We all know learning as well as evaluation should be parallelly done, and whatever is being taught or whatever is being learned by the student should be evaluated time to time. To use evaluation for improvement of students' achievement and teaching learning strategies on the basis of regular diagnosis followed by remedial instruction. So what is it saying? That to use evaluation for improvement. For improvement means, if we are evaluating a student, we get to know what kind of uh, understanding has been attaining. Means through its result, to his or her result, it can be said that whether the strategy, whether the planning is being succeeded or not. Whatever the improvement is being required to the student will be given. Of students' achievement and teaching learning strategies on the basis of regular diagnosis followed by remedial. Means regular diagnosis should be given, like unit test होंगे, and then firstly unit test will be there, and afterwards further the diagnosis will be done according to the remedial instructions will be given. So it's very easy to be understood. To use evaluation as a quality control device to maintain desired standards of performance, evaluation को एक is a quality control device means is a means it controls the quality device to maintain desired standard of performance.